Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm sure you've noticed that gas prices just keep going up. They're the highest they've been in 7 years, but the question is, how high are they going to go? We get some answers from Robert Sinclair, Senior Manager of Public Affairs for AAA in Northeast America. As always, thanks a lot for talking to us. I think everybody has noticed that gas prices have gone up. I guess the question is, how much have they gone up? What are you seeing?
Wow, we've been seeing gasoline prices go up probably since about mid-March. I would say they've probably gone up probably 25 cents since the beginning of the year, maybe 15 or 20 cents since mid-March. You've got the normal cycle in the lowering and raising of gasoline prices. They tend to bottom out during the winter and peak sometime in June, July, or August, usually after the first official day of summer. You've got that also combined with the fact that we're seeing a lot of investment going into crude oil, with investors thinking that this is going to be a busy year for gasoline, with people roaring back, eager to travel after being locked down for so long. And a lot of investment money was pouring into crude oil. That's been curbed a little bit by the news yesterday that the Federal Reserve is thinking about raising interest rates to forestall inflation. And with all oil trading done in dollars, those with foreign currencies have to trade to dollars. And if the dollar strengthens as a result of higher interest rates, then that might cool off the investment in crude oil a little bit, which might put a damper on the price hikes of crude. But crude this morning was $72 a barrel, and it was just $66 a barrel a month ago. So we're seeing a lot of factors playing into the increase of gasoline prices.
Well, that's a whole lot of information. Let me deal with all of that in a second.
Okay.
First, let's talk about New Jersey. How is New Jersey doing as compared to the rest of the country?
New Jersey's average right now is 307 per gallon. That is exactly the same as the national average. In our local area, New York City is kind of the loss leader with the highest average at 321 per gallon. Long Island at 311, I should say, and Connecticut at 309. If we go back a year, everything is about $1 higher compared to a year ago. If you look at the last normal year of 2019, New Jersey was at 277 back then. So significantly higher back then. And really, that's kind of counterintuitive because demand compared to the last normal year of 2019 is off about 15%. We're coming back, but we're not where we were, not all the way just yet. So, and gasoline prices are higher. So go figure.
So let's dive into some of the reasons for this, because you hear a lot out there as to the possible reasons. You hear things that they're not able to get enough supply because they can't get truck drivers to come back to work, and you hear a lot that it's just regular inflation. So much money has been pumped into the economy through stimulus bills and other things, even just increase in pay because trying to get workers to come back to work. That's pushing inflation, that it's just regular inflation. Do either of those things hold? Because I know that there is some political taint to some of those theories.
Well, all of the above, but except mainly the political aspect. Who the president is has nothing to do with where gasoline prices are right now. Definitely, some stations are having a problem staying wet, meaning all the pumps have enough gasoline so that they all work, and that is indeed, as you say, due to not having enough truck drivers. Demand was off anywhere from 50 to 60 to 70% for gasoline last year, and so they didn't need as many truck drivers. Many of them found other jobs, probably driving for online delivery services, and they're having a tough time getting drivers back to drive those gasoline trucks. Inflation is also part of the reason. Demand, though, that's still off compared to a couple of years ago. And the normal, upward surge of gasoline prices that starts really in March when we switch over to the more expensive summer blends of gasoline that are more expensive to refine and distribute. So many factors playing into it. And can't forget, of course, the price of crude oil, which is up compared to just a month ago with a lot of speculative investors.
So is there a trajectory to this? Can you see it continuing to rise, or should it level off? What normally happens?
Normally, we peak sometime between the first celestial day of summer and Labor Day, sometime between late June, July, and August. And that's normal. But, things are very unnormal now, if I can use that word. And the gasoline market, oil and gasoline market, is extremely fickle. It can be news coming out of the Middle East. There might be a threat of an attack of some oil facility overseas that will create what's called the fear tax, where the price of crude oil will jump. And the only thing that's happened is that there's been some speculation about something going on. It could be a storm, and we see a storm brewing right now in the Gulf of Mexico. If that turns into a real powerhouse storm and hits the Gulf Coast, which is sort of the breadbasket for oil and gasoline for the entire Eastern Seaboard, we could see prices go up. I think back to 2005, when Dennis, Katrina, and Rita hit the Gulf Coast, we saw prices jump by as much as 30, 35 cents. So there are just so many factors that can make the price of crude oil and gasoline go up. There are factors that can make the prices go down. Everything is really subject to change, and pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said this is an abnormal year. This isn't what we normally would go through, but you seem to be saying at the same time that much of this is just cyclical, that we've gone through these type of rises before. This isn't all that unusual. Am I saying that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there are competing factors, if you will. There are factors that are not normal. There are factors that are normal. We are seeing the highest gasoline prices in fact, 7 years. So we have to understand where we are in sort of the grand scheme of things, that there are all these factors that are playing into the price of gasoline will probably stay the same. I anticipate demand going up. We're anticipating coming up with our 4th of July projections next week. I anticipate that it will be busy, that Americans are really chomping at the bit to get out and travel. We still can't cruise probably until July and maybe August. So the vast majority of trips that will be taken for the holiday and for the summer are going to be by motor vehicle. And that leads to an increase in demand. That's going to lead to an increase in price. It's really stay tuned kind of situation, Larry.
Really? So it's the highest in 7 years. It could stay that way. And depending on demand going up, the trajectory could go up right through the summer.
It could get worse, or it could get better. But there are more factors in place to make it get worse, actually.
Really? Okay. Well, thanks for cheering us up. I appreciate that. It's always great to talk to you. Thanks for the information. Robert Sinclair of 3A Northeast. Still to come on Jersey Matters.
Last month, the FDA approved Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for children over the age of 12, but not all parents are on board. More on that story next.